There are many ways that a grandparent can save for their grandchild's college education. We're going to be covering different methods, including saving before they head off to college, while they're in school, and then helping them repay those college costs after the fact. Hey guys, it's Justine with the College Investor, Investing and Personal Finance for Millennials. Now, heads up, if you are a grandparent, there are several ways that you can help your grandchild cover the ever increasing costs of college and tuition. So let's go over how you can do this before they head off to school. The first way is through the Coverdell Education Savings Accounts. Now, these types of savings accounts have some limitations to them. The first is there is only a $2,000 annual aggregate contribution limit. There's also some income phase outs that you'll want to pay attention to. Plus, there's some age limits here. You can only contribute up to when the child is 18, and then they can only use that money up until age 30. However, there are some flexible investing options with these types of accounts, and you can use the money to pay for K through 12 expenses. The next way is through prepaid tuition plans. So this would have you pay today's tuition price, lock in those rates so that you don't have to pay future tuition prices. Now, only a dozen plans are available for this type of program. Also, it's not really open to new participants. So if you're grandfathered in, then you would be able to take advantage of this. But these types of programs often fall short of their promises. So overall, not a good option. The next type of way you could save for college is a very popular one that I personally use for my daughter, which is a 529 college savings plan. Now, there are plenty of estate planning benefits in which your contributions are removed from your estate, but as the account owner, you still have control over the 529 plan. You can also contribute up to $15,000 per grandchild per year without incurring any gift tax, which is amazing. Now, you can also do a one-time lump sum to cover 5 years of gifting. So that would be $75,000 per grandchild, or as a couple, you can contribute $150,000. Also, the money can be used tax-free for qualified education expenses, and you can use this for K through 12 expenses. We have a huge mega guide on 529 plans, one that covers every single state. Be sure to check that out at thecollegeinvestor.com so that you can set this up for your grandchild and help them cover those tuition costs. Now, the next idea is a U.S. savings bonds. Now, these were pretty popular back in the 80s and 90s, but the interest rates are just super low. You're limited to just $10,000, and they really have just fallen short in really helping students out with their tuition because interest rates are so low, unlike how you would be able to invest with a 529 plan, and you're investing in the stock market with that money, and you're going to see that money just grow over time, especially if you start them when they're really young. So when I compare that to U.S. savings bonds just not a good option, but they are available to you. The next option is a trust fund. Now, keep in mind with trust funds that income is actually reported on the student's FAFSA. That's the free financial aid form that students fill out in order to check their eligibility for federal financial aid. So that could be a hindrance to them. There's also custodial or brokerage accounts that you could look into where they're not tied to college at all. In fact, that grandchild could use that money for various things outside of school. Now, keep in mind when you set up these custodial accounts, once that child turns 18, then they take ownership of that account and they can do whatever they want with the money. So if that feels a little weird to you and you really want to set this money up for college expenses or education expenses specifically, then you might want to avoid that option. Now, another way that you can help your grandchild save is by setting up a Roth IRA. Roth IRAs are great to set up for retirement, so really not tied to college education expenses, but this could be a way that you help them along their journey, their financial journey, by getting them set up. There is a $6,000 annual limit, and it's also subject to income limitations. Okay, let's cover how you can help your grandchild pay for college while they're in college. So instead of gifting the money directly to the grandchild, what you'll want to do is you'll actually want to give that money to the parent. That's because any income that you may gift to that grandchild is reported as income on their FAFSA, and then it decreases their eligibility for needs-based financial aid. You can also use a 529 college savings account to help pay for college while they're still in school. So what you would do is you would put that money into the account, and then that money is withdrawn tax-free to use for qualified education expenses. Now, you could also think about maybe co-signing a student loan with that grandchild, but keep in mind when you sign up for that, if the grandchild does not repay that student loan, then you're on the hook for those payments. All right, so if you're looking to help your college graduate or your grandchild repay some student loans after the fact, then you can go ahead and gift them money without affecting their federal financial aid, because they're done with financial aid. Also, any leftover money in a 529 plan can be used to help the student loan borrower pay down that student loan debt up to $10,000. Now, if you have the ability to help your grandchild out with college expenses, they are already on a better financial path than a lot of their peers who don't get any assistance. Now, if you want to check out that 529 mega guide that includes every single state with details on how you can get started, be sure to check that out at thecollegeinvestor.com.